It's that time of year again where we're all getting excited about the anticipation of fall. One of my favorite times of year. We're all grateful that the heat waves have finally started to subside, and at least when you go outside, the flesh doesn't melt off your face like it does where I live. And you're also eager to start checkmarking things off your fall bucket list. You can't wait to take a fall foliage drive, to see the leaves at their most colorful at peak season. You're also eager to go to festivals, or to get lost in corn mazes, hayrides, tailgating at football games, bonfires, or going apple picking at an orchard, carving pumpkins, sipping apple cider, or getting spooked at haunted houses. And of course, we can't forget about all the pumpkin spice lattes there is to be had, and fun Halloween costume contests. But with your schedule so jam-packed full of fun fall activities, you may find that you don't have the time to learn a new skill. And you may be tempted to reach out to a friend who sews, or to that costumer or cosplayer that you follow very closely online. I've got some tips on how to properly approach creators when it comes to commission work. When it comes to the topic of this video, I have had an experience with almost every single one of these topics. And as a creator, it is very difficult sometimes to deal with this sort of interaction that you receive from potential clients. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty right off the bat. Money is important, and commission work can sometimes be a large part of a creator's income. Your budget is also important, unless the sky's the limit when it comes to your budget. But always ask the creator how much they are going to charge you for the commission. And since we're being honest here, there may be several reasons why you're contacting a creator to have them make something for you. You may not have the time or the skills to make it yourself, or you don't want to take the time to learn a new skill, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't haggle them after they've already quoted you a price. And don't pay them half, less than half, or just whatever you feel like paying them for something that you wouldn't take the time to make for yourself. Also, saying that you're going to advertise their business on social media to get them better exposure isn't an acceptable form of currency. Only greenbacks will work. So let's say you see a costume at a large chain store. Okay, you know the ones. That American seasonal retailer that supplies Halloween costumes, accessories, and props. The ones that temporarily set up shop in older deserted buildings around town, or even those more permanent stores that sell a combination of costumes and party supplies. Okay, I think you know who I'm talking about here. They are the large chain stores that sell very inexpensive, poor quality, one-time use costumes. Don't think for 1 minute that it's okay to entertain the idea of asking an artist to undervalue their work. By asking them to compete with China's pricing. By asking them if you can buy it at the same price rate as the cheap local costume shop. I mean, let's face it, the whole reason why China's pricing is so cheap is because they use inferior, poor quality materials and cheap labor, and get away with paying their workers next to nothing in deplorable factories or sweatshops. Literally the epitome of fast fashion, but that's a totally separate video topic. And by the way, you should never throw in an artist's face, well, why would I buy it from you for that price when I could buy it at the local costume shop for much cheaper? Well, if you have to ask that question, then the cheap local costume shop must be a better fit for your budget. Also, it's a little bit in poor taste for you to ask someone to make a cheaper knockoff of an already dirt cheap knockoff. Research artists by studying their existing works and only contact creators that may be a good fit for your project. They too need to be excited and interested in your project proposal, but asking a corseteer to make a quilt really isn't the best thing to do. Just because they both know how to sew doesn't mean they have the same skill set. And if you need clothes altered, then you're probably going to need a tailor or a seamstress. So make sure you seek out the appropriate creator for your project. It's always a good idea to have a better understanding of what you are asking of a creator. Research the best you can how many hours might go into what you are asking them to make, which will give you a better understanding of how much they will likely be charging you. As an example, for those of you that go and get your hair cut, it's typically a good idea to take pictures or references of what your end goal is, so that when you're in the consultation phase, you can deliver accurately your vision for the commission. A creator may want you to do several things before even accepting or starting on your project. When it comes to sewing or costume making more specifically, they may want you to take your own measurements. They may also want you to fit mock-ups or purchase the materials in full beforehand, or either pay either in full or upfront for the project. When you and the artist on a more serious level are discussing the project proposal, don't be offended if the artist wants to tweak things here or there about your plan. Testing the waters to see how willing you would be to adjust your plans will be something an artist is going to want to do. There may be many reasons why an artist may want to tweak your plans. Perhaps your proposed plan is a bit out of their skill level, but by accepting your commission, they see it as a challenge to better their skills. Or they may want to scale it back to fit within their skill set. As an example, a woodworker may not have the skill set or tools available to them to create dovetailed corner joints, and may not want to invest in the appropriate tools to be able to create them, gauging that the investment wouldn't be utilized in the artist's future works. Be respectful of their time. If they need to communicate with you about the commission, be available to answer questions. If weeks go by and they haven't heard anything from you, the deadline could be fast approaching. And with a fast approaching deadline, that can sometimes put undue stress on the creator, which can sometimes lead to honest mistakes happening, which could result in the unfortunate altering of the original plan to make it within the deadline. The whole reason you contact an artist is because you clearly like their work, and most likely follow their activity on social media outlets. But don't be offended if the artist is updating their socials with pictures or progress, but don't be offended if the creator is updating their socials with projects or pictures that are not of your commission. There are various reasons as to why an artist may not share on social media the commissions or projects they are currently working on, but that doesn't mean that they're not working on your commission. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with asking for updates, especially where your money is concerned. But I don't suggest stalking them online or showing up to their creative space or house with the lame excuse that I was just in the neighborhood and thought I would pop in to check up on your progress. That's just a bit creepy. By planning ahead, you can potentially beat the herd of birds flocking to land on your creator's project roost. And especially with Halloween just around the corner, now is the time to contact that friend, sewist, or creator. Typically, artists are no strangers to deadline. Some find the pressure to be extra motivating to get stuff done, while others view the weight of a looming deadline to be an undesirable and unnecessary burden to work under. Wedding dates are usually, but not in every case, something that is planned out months or even years in advance. But taking on something as time-consuming as an elaborately hand-beaded applique wedding dress isn't something that can be rushed. Also, if you're seeking out a small business owner, and I hope that you are, they won't have a whole team of people working behind them to complete commissions. Also, don't expect an artist to completely drop all of their existing projects, which probably have looming deadlines, to accept yours. So now we've come around to the last tip, and of course this one is the least fun of all. A creator has the right to say no, even if you've done all your research and approach them in the proper way, armed with all of your project proposals, pictures, diagrams, everything. They may still say no. And it's understandably disappointing to learn that someone isn't as excited as you are about a project. And believe me, I've been there. But when an artist does decline, please do not ride astride the steed of bitterness, waving your flag of dashed hopes, going on a social media warpath to let out your frustrations by bad-mouthing them online. Again, that's just poor taste on your part. Now that you're armed with these tips, you know how not to approach a creator when asking for commission work. And by not doing these things, will probably get you a yes from that creator. I have 4 videos in total, 2 about costuming and 2 more about some fun subjects that you'll probably want to hear about, so please stick around, and if you like this video then please give it a thumbs up. The traffic to my channel motivates me to continue to create more videos and share my passion of art and sewing with you. The moral of the story is, just don't be a cheap ass when it comes to asking people to create stuff for you, asking them to basically undervalue their work and you know, make it for you for free. So these, I've never worn these. I don't exactly know if I would be taken seriously in these in these glasses. So yeah, yeah. For this video, I think I'm going to abstain from these glasses. I think I'll use a different, I think I'll wear a different pair. Let's see about these. Okay. A little bit of, just a little bit of style there, but not too much. I think the other ones were really quite stylish.